Welcome to Take Me to the Cloud, a place for business professionals to hear insights and best practices from industry experts that combine cloud systems, operations, supply chain, and finance.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of Take Me to the Cloud. I am your host, Melissa Holton. Well, it is that time of year again, and no, we are not talking about taxes. Today's topic is all things NetSuite and how your company can test new upgrades to your NetSuite instance. My co-hosts today are certified NetSuite professionals with over 30 years combined NetSuite experience, and they help lead the NetSuite practice here at Witham. Please help me welcome Chris Higgins, Luis Palmatesta, and Daryl Woodworth. Hello, guys.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa. Thanks
Hello.
for having us.
Yes, of course. Thanks for chatting today. I know there's a lot to cover, and our listeners are very excited to learn more about NetSuite. So why don't we talk about what's going on in the NetSuite world? Is there any new updates that they should know about?
Yeah, so twice a year, NetSuite releases upgrades to their system. Sometimes it's bug fixes, sometimes it's patches for different functionalities within the software. But then there's also upgrades to the main core of each module that add maybe it's functional efficiencies or transparencies for reporting or operational modifications that work to the advantage of the software subscriber. And like I said, these upgrades are done twice a year. Anybody who has a subscription to NetSuite gets that upgrade, and it's rolled out systematically on a schedule, and that schedule will be published to your dashboard when the release preview period begins.
So, Luis, what is a release preview?
Yeah, so release preview is a NetSuite instance that is temporarily created and available for each customer that allows them to test their current system with the new functionalities that are being released by NetSuite. So see it as a temporary sandbox account that has the new features, so you can go play around with it, create your transactions, operate like business as usual, and see if your account has been affected or just some script, some workflow that doesn't work, or so this doesn't affect the production account, and you can take actions on the fixes and see if you enable the feature or not. So it allows you to be proactive to the release preview, to release feature, instead of it comes as a surprise to you, and then production gets affected. So we highly recommend that you go ask for that release preview account. There's some quick steps that you have to follow, no more than 3 or 4, and that we have it on the blog, and you can go and ask for it, and just have some tests on it.
So where would somebody go to ask for that permission, and which role might be? Do they have to have admin access, or?
Yeah, you need to be an admin in the system. So it's as simple as go as set up company release preview. It's right there in the main configuration center tab, and just hit with the hit of a button, you go and ask for the release preview account, and then once you log in with your production account, you can select the release preview at the top right, where everyone is used to go switch roles and go to sandbox account. You will see the release preview instance there available for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and in addition to just testing the customizations and scripts that are running in the background, throw some third-party integrations on there as well to make sure that the systems all work together properly in the new upgrade. it also gives you the opportunity to test out the new functionality and see if it would help out your day-to-day operations and what advantages you could take from the new system upgrades to maximize your efficiencies within NetSuite.
It is tricky to test integrations because it is a separate instance, and your third-party integrations are probably not pointed to the release preview, but it's very important that you go through the release notes to make sure that there's been no security changes for those integrations to communicate back and forth with when it does update your production account.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Where would somebody find those third parties to know that they are being updated within NetSuite, or is it something that they're going to have to update manually?
Well, once you find out what's been changing in the security profiles for those integrations, you should reach out to those integrators that you have connections with, such as third-party warehouses, shipping calculation engines. All those integrations should be checked, and those third-party vendors should be able to go and verify that, based on the criteria that's been outlined in the release notes, what changes have been made, and they need to check to make sure that they are in compliance with those integrations as well.
What if our customers or others that are using NetSuite need help, or something has broken in that instance and it's not working and they can't figure it out? What are some best practices for them to?
The first rule is just to go like this.
He is putting up his hand and shrugging because we are only on audio here.
Well, if you identify something that's broken, there's multiple steps, right? You can work internally to see if you can fix it and repair it yourself. You can submit a support ticket through NetSuite and go through that entire process. Or you can reach out to a third-party partner like ourselves and get some assistance working through those issues that you might be seeing.
And NetSuite release, this is the first of 2 that will be released this year. Is that right?
Correct. This is 2023.1. So typically the releases are happening end of Q1, beginning of Q2 of the calendar year, and then with the second release coming towards the end of Q3.
Well, I know that you guys wrote up some good blog posts about some of the specific releases that are coming out. Are there any ones that stand out that are maybe new or kind of different than previous releases?
One of the big ones that has changed this time around is that any scheduled scripts you have running in production account will not automatically run in the sandbox account. So each time you want to go into sandbox and test certain processes, you have to make sure that those scheduled scripts are redeployed and running as per the schedule in production account. I think NetSuite is doing this to try and make sure that the sandbox accounts work a little bit faster than they have in the past and catch possibly some of the customers off guard. So be careful of that one.
That's definitely a good one, yeah. I think that there are also some features, new features that enhance how the project accounting is now monitored especially on projects with that uses percentage complete override. So there's a bunch of features there, like 4 small features that allows now project accountants to monitor per period what's the progress, and that's something that used to be guessed in the past, and NetSuite has a bunch of new information in the project override tab, percentage override tab, that gives a lot of guidance now on the progress per accounting period. So I think I'm excited to that one for all those clients that uses the project override complete.
Yeah, that and managing that percent complete accounting is really important to especially professional services groups, right? For those who don't use that feature of project accounting, one feature that every organization utilizes is accounts payable. recently, over the past 6 months, NetSuite has been trickling out their AP automation module, and it's competing with the top third-party providers. They released a new feature to email the invoice directly to NetSuite that you receive from your vendor, and utilizing their AI and machine learning technology, it's going to automatically enter your vendor bill into the system for you. So streamlines that AP process for teams that I'm sure are, dealing with hundreds and maybe thousands of invoices on a monthly basis, and reduces human error, right, by utilizing the artificial intelligence technology.
Yeah, those are all great updates that will definitely help our clients for sure. Is there anything else you guys want our listeners to know about some of the new things that are happening in the NetSuite world?
One of the most popular modules that NetSuite has for adding on to the core system is fixed asset tracking. There's been a couple features that they've rolled out this time around. One of them is the rental frequencies. They've added in the quarterly and the semi-annually recognition for those types of scenarios for your fixed assets. Also, they've created some new splitting of assets. Whenever you acquire an asset, you can split it into multiple different assets. So, for example, let's say you had a big asset that had multiple components. One of them is going to deteriorate faster than another component. You can create separate different depreciation schedules for those different parts of that greater assets.
That is very helpful, especially for those in the accounting departments. Well, I know you guys wrote some articles specifically about the new release sections of NetSuite that have come out. Where can they find those? Where can our listeners find information? Is that on our website?
Yeah, it's going to be posted on our website. On our NetSuite advisory page. And if you're already a client of ours, there's going to be an email blast of a quick synopsis of what we've identified as our top 9 upgrades of the system, and you can find out the information there. And if anybody has further questions or concerns about their account and the upgrade itself, we're happy to take the call and walk you through the process and make you feel more comfortable with the system enhancements.
Awesome. Well, Daryl, Luis, Chris, thank you so much for chatting with our listeners today. And thank you to our listeners for joining us on another episode. If you are enjoying the Take Me to the Cloud series, please subscribe to our podcast on one of the platforms that you listen to the most. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you on another episode.
You've been listening to Take Me to the Cloud. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to be alerted of new episodes. For more information, visit withum.com.